Box 96, a Hügelkultur state of mind. It's a wonderful state of mind. It's a wonderful state. It takes time to get to the Hügelkultur state of mind. But this person in front of you got there on 2 acres of land approximately 2 years ago. And it started like this. That's me. I'm the concept guy. I started here with my partner, my dog Buck, and 2 acres of rocks. And Buck and I, we spent some time cogitating on how we could plant on a pile of rocks. We tried this, but this didn't work. And so we discovered this fascinating thing called Hugelkultur, which means hill culture or hill mound. Instead of putting branches, leaves, and grass clippings in bags by the curbside or the bin man, it's the building of a hugel bed. The logs and branches act like a sponge, as you can see down below. There's the first thing that goes in are logs, hardwood, and ideally they're in some state of decomposition already, but they don't have to be. Mine work. Rainwater is stored and then released during drier times. So it's for one thing, you can see that it's already kind of acting with the mother, because this is how it's done. It's things aren't just all done on the top 2 inches of the soil. So you start with the hardwoods, and then pursuant to this diagram, which you can find a zillion YouTubes telling you how to do this. And you start building this thing up. You weave in logs, branches, twigs, compost, horse pucky, goat pucky, chicken pucky, more logs, more twigs, more pucky, mound upon mound upon mound, compost layer. You don't have to get out a ruler and make sure you got so much of this and that, this and that. And you get this beautiful mound the way Mother Nature intended it. Mother Nature didn't intend for a monoculture. She intended that it be this basic, big old compost haystack. Big old, like a haystack, A haystack has, your tortilla, and then it has some meat and some beans and this and that, and then the salsa. I mean, that's, you wouldn't just want the tortilla, right? You couldn't make anything happen just with that. So now you got all of these things, right? Now you can go to Home Depot and get your handy dandy, above ground kit, but this is more fun, and it takes advantage of what you have. And so you say, how do I get this? Where do I find it? Well, this is where it starts. The sauce, box 96 sauce. And what do we have? Well, What you have there is a picture of something that I had very little of. Dirt. And dirt was in high demand. And so here, where there was runoff of other of the higher land's topsoil, I was able to collect dirt. So wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow, that's where I got some dirt free of most rock. And this was an interesting dig. It was not a mass grave or anything. That was poor taste, my apologies. This was the previous owner was growing pot here and had brought in some incredible soil. And so I took advantage of that, hauled that off. This is more of the dirt sites looking towards the garden. And then you start finding these beautiful, succulent, luscious pieces of decomposing redwood and trees in general, leaves. Forest fires had been through here, and then this here is like, this is such beautiful stuff. It's just ready with a little moisture to be squirrel. This is another story. More for the decomposition. This was like, at the base of a tree, you dig in there and there was all this yummy, there was soil for one thing, because it had been decomposing, and leaves and everything, and a halfway to soil. Any kind of pieces of wood that were breaking down. And then, it was so interesting. You look at this thing, you look at this wheelbarrow, right? And this is when it really struck me. This Hugelkultur state of mind, is if in this wheelbarrow, it's got, everything. It's got all this broken ass stuff, man. There's fire. There's marijuana stalks. There's chunks. There's broken pieces. And I'm saying, there's a lot of broken pieces in my life, okay? And here it is in the wheelbarrow. This is the wheelbarrow of life, right? And so you take all this and you put it on the slab of life, okay, which is the slab of my greenhouse, which is somewhere in Kansas right now, thanks to winds, and someday it'll come back. But so right now it's this beautiful place for turning the sauce. Here's Buck, he's helping me. So we put everything on there. This place had like a horse, and so it had years of just stomped down horse pucky that just, it was like gold. And so you take that and all, the goats and everything, and you mix all this, like mixing this sauce, and then, right here, this is black gold. This is true black gold. All that pucky in there with a little water, and you let that, and the plant's like, yeah, baby, this is what makes us grow. So you got it all going on just off the debris found, on the property, the stuff that has been cast off, stuff that has been determined to be of no value. And it's just like in life, our experiences, the things that broke us, or wounded us or whatever, that we discarded, but in the end, they are of value. And rocks, the rocks that pounded us. This property's at the base of a mine. So what did it have? It had all the stuff the mine didn't want. It threw all its rocks down here. However, I really wanted the rocks, and so I got to haul rocks down the hill to help build beds. This one was just too big. And then the foundation here's this magnificent tree that was cut down, discarded, and now, it was laying there of no value, much as many things in our lives, and I drug it over, and it was front and center, and I began to, I chainsawed it out, I'm gutting it out to open up the middle, and it was in a perfect state of decomposition, still solid enough, for many years of water. It's like this giant sponge. I mean, it was beautiful. And then, brought in some of the smaller logs for some of the other beds. And then this is the beginning of the main bed. And it's interesting that some of the major tools in this thing, besides hitching it up to the puppy, was of course the wheelbarrow, but the hand truck was like amazing, because that really moved a lot of the big rocks, and plans change, just like in life. There was, you can see logs in the background that they were going to be, that's where the rose tier was, but that all changed. And so anyway, that's like life, being fluid. And it was like, when this project started, my youngest daughter had given me these gloves, and they were just like my dad's, and so, and at the end of this project, they were smoking, but it was a well done feeling. And now the beds. And then, of course, as I've been alluding to, is buckaroo. There was this flat land full of rocks, and it was mountain majestic. It was beautiful, But taking the debris, just like in my life, taking my debris, beautiful things have been created. And so we have the magic. And I've seen those faraway stars, and I've lived under the rocket's red glare while flying high in the blue mountains. But all the while, I knew that I was needing to not waste any more time. I needed a Hugelkultur state of mind, a box 96 state of mind. Now it comes down to whose story of reality it is, because I chose that to all let it slide, because I don't care if it's the state of this, the flag of that, or the color of that. I've left that all behind. And I'm in a Hugelkultur state of mind. I said, I'm not in anybody else's state of mind. I'm in mine, and it's sweet. Sweet as wine. But I hope someday we can all find this Hugelkultur, this Box 96 Hugelkultur state of mind. I truly do. I truly do. What a wonderful thing. Box 96, of course, has all kinds of participants. It is such an amazing place. Everything from wildcats and bobcats and woolly cats and little critters to big critters. Some of my favorite critters. And these two little four-legged critters. This is the critters now that unfortunately I have to keep out. This is my main man after an exhausting day of running patrol. That's a sweet ass puppy. This is Connor, the main guard cat. Smokey, in charge of gophers. There's Connor assaulting the deer. This is always an ominous sign. And the goats. Peyton and Joe Montana, and they leave us with this, that no matter what gets dropped, it can be used in the Hugelkultur state of mind.